Hey there, welcome to the Healthy Vibes podcast. I'm Kelly Renato, and I thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. I hope to give you a bit of encouragement, make you think, and possibly change a habit or two. So today I want to talk about when we hit a plateau. I've had multiple conversations lately with friends and people in my life, and it reminded me of stories I've had over the years. There's always a similar theme to them when people hit a plateau. And you get frustrated and you feel like you're doing a lot or you're working hard and nothing's changing. And there's a combination of things I want you to think about when you're working out. First of all, be proud of yourself for doing something. Most people that are hitting plateaus are people that have a workout routine. They are doing something, but either their focus is off, they need to change something, or it might just be in a shift in what they're doing. A lot of times it's very simple, but sometimes it goes against the grain of what we want to do or what we think we should do. So as always, you got to open your mind to other possibilities, like opening our mind and not just shutting the door on what we think we know or what we think we should do. The change is always possible, first of all. You have to remember change is always possible. So when it comes to hitting a plateau, a couple of things. First of all, just getting to know yourself is huge. If you're working out and you're in a program and you're trying to be better and healthy and whatever your goal is, good for you. But pay attention to what makes you feel good, what doesn't. How do you feel the next day? What do you feel is making a good change? Really pay attention to what is working for you. And if you're hitting a plateau and you know you are, then you are paying attention. And now you feel like something's not changing. So my question always is, why don't you think something's changing? Is it because you're weighing yourself every day and the scale's not moving? Are you measuring yourself? Are you trying to get into a different size? What is it that makes you think you're at a plateau? Is it you're trying to push to another level of a bigger weight or, a bigger challenge or more intensity and you feel like you're stuck? First of all, what is it in that sense? So some examples recently, one person I talked to was a runner, and I still remember her as a client, and she was like, I run 5 miles every day and nothing's happening. Nothing's changing. And to me, it's obvious. If you're doing the same thing every day and nothing's changing, you need to change it up. We need to do different things. You don't need to just run at a high intensity every single day. First of all, your body needs recovery. So recovery to me is something different, giving yourself a change from it. So if you're running 3 days a week, maybe walk 2 days a week. Change your running to an interval. Maybe you run and you walk and you run and you walk, like 3-1, 3-1 in terms of minutes. Change something up. And that's hard for people to do because, what they like what they're doing, the intensity that they're doing it, but your body doesn't need to be at that high intensity all the time. So, and if it's really hard for you to change, just tell yourself you'll give yourself a month or two and change it up. Run 3 days, walk 2 days. Another thing is to add weights. And a lot of times weights is really hard for people to add some sort of strength training. But if you're doing nothing, just something basic, 2 days a week could help make a difference. Something very basic. Squats, lunges, push-ups, rows. Add 4 exercises. Just add something basic. The next person that I talked to was doing HIIT 5 days a week. And that's an extremely intense training. And again, your body does not need to be stressed like that every single day. It's getting no recovery. And when it comes to weight training especially, rest is when the muscle grows, when you recover, when all the big changes happen. So if you're going to do intense weight training, you have to do something else on that next day to give your body that rest and recovery. So I told her, do something else for 2 days a week, whether it's walking, which is such a good choice. Just go walking 2 days a week outside, get in nature. It's amazing how many benefits other than just, what we think we're getting our benefits in terms of exercise. If you get outside and you're fresh air, you're in nature, you get time to yourself, your mind gets some clarity. There's so many good benefits to walking outside. So I told her the same. I said, change it up a couple of days. And, if you don't want that, you could add in yoga, you could add in Pilates, something different. Your body needs a change. And it's okay to have a day off too, to rest and recover. So my first thing is to change something up. More is not always better. A lot of times people are like, but I'm working out every single day and I'm doing so very much. I'm at the gym for an hour and a half. For them, I'm like, back off. Take a day or two off. More is not always better. Movement is good, it is, but don't think if I just keep doing more that I'm going to get bigger results. Sometimes that's true, depending on how much you're doing, but nobody needs to work out 2 times a day. Nobody needs to be in the gym for several hours unless you're training for some sort of competition. Find what works for you. And it doesn't even have to be a gym. That's the other thing. A lot of times people think, well, I don't want to go to a gym. I don't want a gym membership. It doesn't have to be. If you're doing nothing right now, just start walking. So first of all, get awareness with yourself. Second of all, if you're at a plateau, you got to change something up. You don't need to be high intensity every single day of the week. Change it up. Having a day of walking, yoga, cycling, whatever it is maybe you like. Pickleball, an amazing change it up. Anything different. It doesn't have to be the same thing every day. And especially if you've been doing that same thing for months and months and months and months and months, your body has gotten really good at that and it needs something different. Change is powerful when it comes to reaching a plateau. And if you're doing high intensity 5-6 days a week, change with low intensity a couple days a week is powerful too. So our body needs recovery. Rest is really good. Your body needs it. Alternating activities. And I want you also to think about your focus. What are you focusing on? Many times, so many of us are focusing on the wrong things. And all we're looking at is the numbers on the scale, the size, what our abs look like, the thickness around our middle. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with wanting to improve that. But if you are obsessed with your scale every day, your measurement every day, your pants, whatever, it's going to be hard to change because you're never going to be happy. You're always going to feel that you're not meeting the expectation. So I'm going to tell you right now, change your focus. Change your focus to it's a stress relief. It makes your mind feel better. Working out gives you better clarity, gives you better happiness. It reduces your anxiety. It makes you feel stronger. It gives you a better attitude, a better perspective on life. It just makes you feel better about yourself. Change your focus. When you finish working out, think about how you feel. Focus on that and stay away from the scale and the measurements and all of those thoughts for a while. Just change your focus. And you would be amazed because all of it changes what's going on deep in your body, how you're thinking, what you're focusing on, how much you're doing. It's so much bigger than we think. So change your focus just to make yourself feel better about yourself and be proud of yourself. And then when you change and go for a walk 2 days a week, because I bet if you're not a walker and I'm telling you to go walk, it's very hard for you to do that. But open your mind to it. Go out, get some fresh air, either just take in nature or maybe put something positive in your headphones. Listen to good music, a podcast, something. Just go spend 30 minutes walking by yourself a few times and then get back to me and see how it feels. Open your mind to that. So change is always possible, but sometimes it's going to be something that you're not expecting, and that's okay. So it's not more is always better. So whatever you're going through, if you've hit a plateau and you're high intensity 5-6 days a week, I want you to back off 2 days a week and do something different. I want you to change your focus. of what you're focusing on. And if you're my age, when you're in the 40s, especially 50s, because, if you're in menopause or beyond, weight training is super important. So if you're not in a weight training program yet, you got to get in one. Just start 2 days a week. And another thing, if you are in one, and, a lot of times it's a big focus on heavy weights, how much we're pushing around. The older we get, and I'm not saying you're old, but the older we get, it's really, really important to work on balance, to work on function, meaning what we need in a day, getting up, getting down, bending over, sitting down, standing up, all of those things. If it's hard, keep working on it. That's what you should work on. Coordination activities. So when I do my weights, I try to do exercises that combine lower body, upper body, anything that makes you think. Curtsy squats, lunges, something that's not just simple and easy. Anything that can challenge not only your muscles and your body, but your mind. And anything you do, if you're already doing something intense every day of the week, and you need to back off. So the other end of the spectrum, someone that was walking all the time, super proud of themselves, which is amazing. I think walking is one of the most underrated exercises out there. Walking every day, don't stop. If you are consistently walking every day, great. But if you aren't doing your weights, add in the weights. And then you are, but you're just doing a little, like I just said, maybe now is the time to push yourself a little more in that. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to do pull-ups if you've never done pull-ups. Challenge yourself to do push-ups if you've never done push-ups. Challenge yourself in a lunge if you've never done that. Something just a little bit harder than what you're already doing. But most importantly, if you're not doing anything or you're not sure what to do, I do believe steps are the most important. Standing more than we sit, walking around as much as we can, and being just active in a day. Pay attention to your steps. It really does matter. Getting over 10,000 steps a day is a total different feeling than having 4,000 steps a day. Some sort of weight training in your life. Get some sort of weight training in your life. Walking is underrated. If you're already doing jogging or cycling or swimming, whatever it is, great. But if you're not doing anything, walk. And then stretching. So many of us don't stretch. And the older you get, the more it helps everything. Stress relief, your mobility, your joints, how you get around, you're getting up, getting down, just stretching and moving your body, grabbing a towel over your head and just kind of easily moving around makes such a difference. So most importantly, if you've reached a plateau and you're paying attention and you know something's not changing or you're not moving forward, change something. And change your focus if you need to. I read a study recently that talked about women that they interviewed that were more consistent and more happy and getting the most out of their workout were the women that focused on their workouts and their exercise being their escape or their stress relief or their brings them joy, or their focus was different than the women that struggled to keep up because they saw it as a good escape, a healthy escape. It brought more goodness to their life, not just I'm exercising to try and lose weight. I'm exercising to try and move the scale. I'm exercising to get a better measurement or a better size. The focus was different. So it makes a difference. Just like your approach to your day makes a difference, your approach to your life, your approach to your workout makes a difference in terms of how you feel and what your results are. Because it's changing all of what's going on in your body. It changes your hormones. It changes how your body's responding. It changes how you feel, your stress, everything. So change your focus of your approach to your exercise. And listen, if you still have questions, send me an email, kelly@renato.com. You can find me on my website, kellyrenato.com. Please join my Sunday email group, Sunday Courage. 1 email a week, that's it, I promise. And all it is some sort of health tip, encouragement, or some sort of thing to make you just a bit more courageous in your life. And as always, thank you for being here, sharing your time, and share this with someone you know that might be frustrated with their program right now. It's not rocket science, and the world makes us think it is. The world has overcomplicated all of it, our entire health. And usually it is a simple change, but you just have to be open to it, and you have to give it a try. And I promise you'll see a difference. So thanks for being here, and have the best week. Take care.